Today we're going to look at the Pact Pro, a very affordably priced self-folding ultra-compact from Joie. So let's jump straight into it then, going over the model from top to bottom and examining its advantages and disadvantages in terms of child comfort, ease of use, performance and mechanics, before ending with a discussion of which uses and environments it will best suit and whether we feel it's worth its price. And starting off with some stats, the Pact Pro clocks in at 6.3 kilos and folds down to 66 by 47 by 24 centimeters. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 4.5 in the underslung storage basket. As far as child comfort is concerned, the Pact Pro has a newborn acceptable recline and an upright position that's a bit too sloped in my opinion, though better than it was on the original version of the model. Seat size is quite nice on the Pact Pro, with a width of 34 centimeters, a length for the sitting surface of 88, meaning the combined lengths of the backboard, baseboard, and leg rest, and a total longer length of 117, when taking into account space under the canopy with the seat upright, and the length to the front frame mounted footrest. The adjustable leg rest is a bit on the short side here, at 14 centimeters, but the backboard length of 51 is longer than average, which is an important feature for providing head support as your child grows when the seat is reclined. As far as other aspects of the seat are concerned, the model has decent ventilation via mesh panels both in the canopy as well as above the seat back, but beyond this, there are a few negatives in that the textiles feel a little on the cheap side, the padding is pretty thin, the shoulder straps have to be rethreaded to change elevation, and the canopy, though acceptably long when the seat is upright, is not extendable and may be inadequate with regards to sun coverage when the seat is reclined with a smaller child. Lastly, for the newborn period, in addition to having a newborn acceptable recline, the Pact Pro is compatible with a Ramble bassinet, as well as a variety of car seats. Moving on to parent comfort, the Pact Pro's handle stands at a fixed height of 102 centimeters, while its shopping basket is acceptably sized for an ultra-compact, but unpleasant to access in my opinion, due to the slope of the seat and the height of the rear lip. As far as folding is concerned, the activation mechanisms on the handle are a bit loose, which sometimes makes them fiddly to use, though on the positive side, the process is one-handed and the Pact Pro auto-folds, which can be a convenient feature when carrying a child in your other arm. As far as the folded package goes, the model is light to lift and the bumper bar doubles as a carry handle, but the folded dimensions are a bit too tall for the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage. As far as how the Pact Pro feels to use, it's a bit on the light and weak side, with a few riveted points that bend and strain as you steer, especially when carrying a heavier child. Looking at driving, the Pact Pro has good-sized wheels for an ultra-compact, 6 inches in the front and 6.3 in the back, and noticeable 4-wheel suspension that allows it to tackle broken sidewalks and lighter cobblestones or easier off-road conditions when you need it to. Though, that being said, it is the sort of model likely to loosen up quite a bit over time if you overdo it with such conditions. Alright, let's move on to the mechanics of the model then, starting with the handle, the folding system, and the general structure of the chassis, where, despite the buttons on the handle being a bit loose, the rest of the folding system is decently designed, at least as far as the internal mechanisms are concerned, where the setup is relatively simple, involving only a single pair of wires that unlock a single pair of locking points on the handle arms, allowing the rest of the chassis to fold together via a multitude of hinged points. The advantage in more simple internal mechanisms is that there's less of a chance for symmetry issues as the model loosens up, though, unfortunately, loosening will still make the model feel quite rickety after a while, and there are a few key points that are likely to loosen, in particular those locking points on the arms and the riveted connections at the base of the support struts. Moving down to the rear frame, the Pact Pro again has decent suspension, but the brake system is wire-based and lacks an adjustment screw for fine-tuning tension in the wire over time, making it harder to deal with wear problems that may show up if the brakes aren't lubricated occasionally. When it comes to the wheels, there's a little looseness in how they lock within the housings, which can be a bit noisy, though I don't necessarily suspect that the connection here is apt to get too much looser over time. The foam tires are relatively smooth and don't provide much in the way of traction, but, going on our experience with other Joie models, the material is at least fairly durable. Looking lastly at the front end, there's a bit of suspension built into the front forks, and the model has decent swivel locks. The axles for the front wheels extend out from the front frame rather than being a part of the forks, which I've always found to be a smart setup since it means that loosening problems can be solved with a new set of wheels. That being said though, the wheels sit tightly anyway, and I doubt that the model will develop wobbling problems down the road. So, would I recommend getting the Pact Pro then? Yes, provided that you have the right plans for how to use it anyway. There are a lot of positives with the Pact Pro, both from a use perspective as well as what you get for the price, with better than average seat dimensions, larger than average wheels, and the model's easy autofold, as well as a decent set of accessories that come with the model, including a rain cover, bumper bar, travel bag, and adapters for attaching a bassinet or car seat. The downside of the Pact Pro is that it is definitely on the weak side, and not a model that I recommend for daily use as your primary stroller, but as a travel stroller or a supplementary model to keep in the trunk for trips to the store or the occasional weekend adventure, it should hold up fine. And at $200, along with a 3-year guarantee when you register, I personally feel that it actually offers quite a bit for its price tag. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as a sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.